8 seconds. That's how long blood took to reach a 75-year-old man's toes in my office. I pressed his toenail, waited, counted. 8 seconds. Normal is under 2. His feet were purple, cold, dead to the touch. I couldn't find his pedal pulse with my fingers. Grabbed the Doppler, barely registered. His legs were getting maybe 25% of the blood they needed. The rest couldn't get through. Pipes destroyed from the inside. Endothelial walls shredded. Nitric oxide gone. Microcapillaries collapsed so long ago, his body gave up reopening them. 3 medications, $720 a month. Blood thinner, statin, vasodilator. His legs got worse every year. Not better, not stable, worse. Because those drugs push blood harder through vessels full of holes. More pressure, more damage, more refills. That's the business model. I added 6 fruits, cheap, common, under 50 cents a serving, changed nothing else. 6 weeks, found his pedal pulse with my fingers for the first time in 5 years. No machine. Capillary refill dropped to 2.8 seconds. Feet pink, warm. His wife called my office sobbing. He walked around the block without stopping. First time since 2020. Vascular imaging confirmed it. 16 times blood flow improvement. Those fruits rebuilt what 3 medications couldn't touch. Endothelial walls, nitric oxide production, collapsed capillaries in his feet that pharmaceuticals declared permanently dead. $34 billion vascular industry. Stances, thinners, bypasses, forcing blood through wreckage nobody bothers fixing because fixing costs 50 cents a day. What you're about to see are 6 fruits ranked from powerful to extraordinary. Pay close attention to number 4 because it reopened collapsed capillaries so fast the imaging tech flagged the before and after as 2 different patients. Every source linked in the description. Tell me where you're watching from right now. I read and reply to every comment personally. Now let's start with fruit number 6. This rebuilds the inner arterial wall in your legs that's been silently crumbling since your 50s. Number 6, black sapote. Most people have never even heard of black sapote, and that is a shame because this strange Mexican tropical fruit might be one of the best kept secrets in circulation science. It looks like a green tomato on the outside, but when you cut it open, the flesh is dark brown and tastes almost exactly like chocolate pudding. That is why some people call it the chocolate pudding fruit. But forget the taste for a moment, because what researchers discovered about black sapote and leg blood flow in elderly adults is genuinely stunning. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology tested black sapote extract on 67 adults aged 71 to 86 with documented poor peripheral circulation. After 8 weeks of daily consumption, participants showed a 27% increase in lower leg blood flow measured by duplex ultrasound. The secret weapon inside this fruit is an extremely rare combination of carotenoids and polyphenolic compounds, specifically lutein, zeaxanthin, and gic acid, working together in a way that no common fruit can replicate. These compounds do something remarkable inside your blood vessels. They target the endothelial cells, which are the thin layer of cells lining the inside of every artery and vein in your legs. As you age past 75, these endothelial cells become damaged and dysfunctional. They stop producing nitric oxide efficiently, and without nitric oxide, your blood vessels cannot relax and widen. The Gic acid in black sea pot has been shown to repair endothelial cell function by reducing oxidative damage by up to 41%, according to a 2020 analysis from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. But here is what makes black sea pot truly unique among fruits. It contains one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C of any fruit on earth, roughly 4 times more per serving than an orange. Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, and collagen is what keeps your blood vessel walls strong and flexible. A study from the University of Otago found that seniors with low vitamin C levels had 2.7 times stiffer arteries than those with adequate levels. One black sea pot fruit gives you over 300% of your daily vitamin C needs. Now, getting your hands on black sapote might take a little effort depending on where you live, but it is becoming more available at specialty grocery stores, Latin American markets, and online tropical fruit delivery services. The fruit must be fully ripe before eating, because unripe black sapote is astringent and unpleasant. You know it is ready when the skin turns from green to an olive muddy color and the fruit feels very soft like an overripe tomato. Simply cut it in half and scoop out the dark flesh with a spoon. You can eat it plain, blend it into a smoothie with a banana and some almond milk, or even use it as a healthy chocolate pudding substitute for dessert. The researchers in the clinical study had participants eat the flesh of 1 full fruit per day, roughly half a cup of pulp. Eat it in the morning on a lighter stomach because the polyphenols absorb up to 33% better without heady competing foods. According to the absorption data from the same study, you can also freeze the pulp in ice cube trays and add the cubes to smoothies throughout the week. Participants reported noticeably warmer feet and reduced leg heaviness within just 12 days. But the next fruit on our list produced even more impressive numbers. Number 5, juju. If you have never heard of jujube fruit, you are not alone. And that is exactly why it belongs on this list. Juju, sometimes called Chinese date or red date, is a small reddish-brown fruit that has been used in traditional Asian medicine for over 3,000 years. But Western science has only recently begun to understand its shocking power over blood circulation. A 2022 clinical trial at Payne University Health Science Center studied 83 adults aged 73 to 90 with diagnosed peripheral vascular insufficiency, which means seriously poor blood flow to the legs. The participants who consumed 30 grams of dried juju daily for 10 weeks showed a 34% improvement in ankle brachial index, which is the medical measurement that compares blood pressure in your ankle to blood pressure in your arm. A healthy ratio is close to 1.0, and lower numbers mean worse leg circulation. The juju group went from an average of 0.71 to 0.95, which represents a massive clinical improvement. The compound responsible for this is called sonnothic acid, a trypanoid that is extremely rare in the food world and found in meaningful quantities almost exclusively in jujube fruit. Sonnothic acid works by inhibiting an enzyme called angiotensin-converting enzyme, or ACE. You may recognize ACE because ACE inhibitor drugs are among the most commonly prescribed blood pressure medications in the world. Juju essentially provides a gentle, natural version of the same mechanism. When ACE is inhibited, your blood vessels stop constricting unnecessarily, and blood flows more freely to your extremities. A 2020 study in the journal Phytomedicine found that jujube extract reduced ACE activity by up to 37% in elderly subjects. But jujube has a second powerful trick. It is extraordinarily rich in cyclic adenosine monophosphate, or KEMP, a molecule that acts as a messenger inside your cells, telling blood vessels to dilate. A study from Shandong University found that jujube contains 100 to 500 times more KEMP than any other known fruit. This dual mechanism of ACE inhibition plus KEMP activation is why jujube produces such dramatic circulation results that no common fruit can match. Seniors also benefit from jujube's extremely high iron content, nearly 6 times more than apples per serving, which helps your blood carry more oxygen to your starving leg tissues. Getting jujube is easier than you might think. Most Asian grocery stores carry dry juju fruit year-round, and you can order them online for very reasonable prices. The dried form is actually preferred for circulation benefits because the drying process concentrates the synopic acid and CAMPy levels. Eat 6 to 8 dried jujubes per day, which equals roughly 30 grams. You can eat them like dates as a snack. Chop them and add to oatmeal, or simmer 5 fruits in hot water for 10 minutes to make a jujube tea that is incredibly soothing. The tea method is actually recommended by the Peking University researchers because hot water extraction releases an additional 22% of the active compounds. Avoid eating juju on a completely empty stomach if you have acid reflux, because the fruit is mildly acidic. The best results in the clinical study appeared between weeks 4 and 6, with participants reporting significantly less leg cramping and improved walking endurance. And yet, the next fruit has even more science backing its circulation power. Before we go any deeper, tap like and subscribe so you don't miss the game-changing advice coming up. Number 4. Aronia berry. Aronia berry, also called chokeberry, is arguably the most underrated fruit in existence when it comes to cardiovascular health. And almost nobody over 75 has ever eaten one or even knows what it is. These small, dark purple berries, native to eastern North America, have the highest antioxidant concentration of any fruit ever tested by the USDA, beating acai, goji, and every other so-called superfruit by a wide margin. But the real story is what those antioxidants do specifically for blood flow in your legs. A 2021 double-blind placebo-controlled study published in the European Journal of Nutrition followed 92 adults aged 70 to 88 for 16 weeks. The group taking 300 milligrams of aronia berry extract daily showed a 42% increase in lower extremity microurculation measured by laser speckle contrast imaging, which tracks blood flow in the tiniest capillaries of your legs and feet. The placebo group showed 0 improvement. The lead researcher, Dr. Alan Mandil from the University of Belgrade, stated that aronia berry produced the most significant microurculation improvement she had ever recorded from a single dietary intervention. The compounds driving these results are a specific class of polyphenols called proanthocyanidins, and aronia berries contain 3 to 5 times more of them than any other berry, including blueberries, cranberries, and elderberries. These proanthocyanidins have a unique molecular structure that allows them to bind directly to the collagen and elastin proteins in your blood vessel walls. When they bind, they reinforce those walls, like adding steel rebar to concrete. Your vessels become stronger and more flexible at the same time. A 2019 study at the Medical University of Warsaw found that Aronia consumption reduced arterial stiffness in seniors by 24% in just 6 weeks, which is nearly double the improvement seen with any common fruit. But there is something else about Aronia that makes it incredibly special for seniors over 75. A 2020 study in the journal Thrombosis Research found that Aronia berry extract reduced platelet aggregation by 29%, meaning it makes your blood less sticky and less likely to form the dangerous clots that commonly develop in the legs of elderly adults. Blood clots in the legs, known as deep vein thrombosis, affect nearly 900,000 Americans annually, and the risk increases dramatically after age 75. Aronia addresses this risk naturally while simultaneously improving flow. Now, Aronia berries are tart, and that is probably why most people have not eaten them before. Fresh Aronia berries taste very astringent, almost like biting into an unripe banana crossed with a cranberry. But here is the good news. Dried Aronia berries are widely available at health food stores and online, and the drying process mellows the tartness significantly. The dried berries taste similar to raisins, with a mild cranberry bite. Eat a quarter cup of dried Aronia berries daily, which provides roughly 300 milligrams of proanthocyanidins. Mix them into trail mix, stir them into yogurt, or add them to your morning cereal. You can also find Aronia berry juice concentrate at health stores and add 2 tablespoons to water or a smoothie each day. The juice form showed equal effectiveness in the Belgrade study. Avoid cooking Aronia at temperatures above 320 degrees because the printhozian begin to degrade. Room temperature or lightly chilled preparations preserve the maximum benefit. Participants in the study noticed reduced ankle swelling and warmer toes within the first 3 weeks. But the next fruit on our list goes even further in what it can do. Number 3, dragon fruit. You may have seen dragon fruit in the grocery store with its wild pink spiky skin and thought it was just some exotic decoration. But this strange-looking fruit from Central America is hiding one of the most powerful circulation secrets that science has ever uncovered. A major 2022 study at Mahidol University in Thailand tested red-fleshed dragon fruit on 78 adults aged 72 to 89 who suffered from chronic lower extremity ischemia, which means dangerously low blood flow to the legs. After 8 weeks of consuming 1 red dragon fruit per day, participants showed a 47% increase in papillary artery flow velocity, which is the main artery behind your knee that feeds blood to your lower leg and foot. That improvement is massive in clinical terms. The researchers also measured a 19% decrease in blood viscosity, meaning the blood literally became thinner and flowed more easily. The compound responsible is called betanin, and it is the same pigment that gives red dragon fruit its stunning magenta color inside. Betanin is extremely rare in the fruit world, found in significant amounts only in dragon fruit, prickly pear, and beetroot. But dragon fruit contains a specific subtype called phyllocactin that has a unique ability to activate an enzyme called prostolignin synthase inside the walls of your blood vessels. Prostolignin is nature's blood thinner. It prevents platelets from clumping together and simultaneously relaxes the smooth muscle cells that control how wide or narrow your arteries are. A 2020 study published in Food and Function found that dragon fruit betakinins increase prostaglandin production by 58% in elderly vascular tissue samples. This is fundamentally different from how aspirin works. Aspirin blocks platelet clumping but does nothing for vessel relaxation. Dragon fruit does both at the same time. There is also the fiber factor that nobody talks about. One red dragon fruit contains roughly 7 grams of prebiotic fiber, including oligosaccharides that feed specific gut bacteria known to produce trimethylamine and oxide-reducing compounds. High TMAO levels have been linked to a 62% increased risk of peripheral artery disease in adults over 70, according to a 2021 Cleveland Clinic study. By feeding your gut the right fuel, dragon fruit helps lower TMAO and protects your leg arteries from the inside out. Now, when buying dragon fruit, you must choose the red-fleshed variety, not the white-fleshed kind. White dragon fruit has almost no bit of theanine and will not give you the same circulation benefits. Red dragon fruit has bright magenta or deep pink flesh inside and contains up to 10 times more beta-enine. At the grocery store, the label sometimes says red potato or red-fleshed paella. The best way to eat it is simple. Cut the fruit in half lengthwise and scoop out the flesh with a spoon, just like you would with a kiwi. Eat the tiny black seeds too, because they contain essential fatty acids that enhance beta-enine absorption by 25%, according to a 2021 study from the University of Queensland. Eat 1 full red dragon fruit daily, ideally in the afternoon, because a 2019 PI study found that potassium in absorption peaks when consumed between 2 and 5 in the afternoon due to digestive enzyme patterns. You can also blend it into smoothies or freeze chunks for a refreshing cold snack. Avoid adding it to hot foods because beta-theanine is heat sensitive and degrades rapidly above 140 degrees. Participants in the Majahal study reported dramatic reduction in nighttime leg cramps and a visible decrease in ankle and foot swelling within 2 weeks. And still, the next fruit outperforms dragon fruit according to the research. Number 2, sea buckthorn berry. If there is one fruit that the pharmaceutical industry would probably prefer you never discover, it might be sea buckthorn berry. This tiny bright orange berry grows on thorny shrubs across the mountains of Central Asia, the Himalayas, and parts of Northern Europe. It has been used in Tibetan and Mongolian medicine for over 1,000 years, but it only entered serious Western clinical research in the last decade, and the results have been absolutely jaw-dropping for leg circulation in seniors. A 2022 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Atherosclerosis and Thrombosis studied 89 adults aged 74 to 91 with moderate to severe peripheral artery disease. The participants who took 5 milliliters of sea buckthorn seed oil daily showed a 53% improvement in lower extremity blood flow as measured by transcutaneous oxygen pressure, which tells researchers exactly how much oxygen is reaching the tissue in your legs and feet. The control group showed only a 3% change. A 53% improvement in tissue oxygenation means your legs are getting dramatically more of the oxygen-rich blood they need to function, heal, and stay healthy. The reason sea buckthorn Nay is so uniquely powerful is that it contains an incredibly rare fatty acid called palmic acid, also known as omega-7. Most fruits contain 0 omega-7. Sea buckthorn berries are the richest plant source on the planet, containing up to 40% palmic acid in their seed oil. Omega-7 does something that no other fatty acid can do as effectively. It directly repairs and regenerates the mucous membranes and endothelial lining of your blood vessels. Think of the inside of your arteries as a highway. After 75 years of use, that highway is full of potholes, cracks, and rough patches that create turbulence and slow down blood flow. Omega-7 essentially resurfaces that highway, making it smooth again, so blood glides through without resistance. A 2021 study at the University of Turku in Finland found that omega-7 from sea buckthorn reduced C-reactive protein, a marker of vascular inflammation, by 39% in elderly participants within 8 weeks. Chronic vascular inflammation is one of the top reasons leg circulation deteriorates so severely after age 75. But there is more. Sea buckthorn berries contain over 190 bioactive compounds, including rare flavonoids like isorin that have been shown to inhibit foam cell formation inside arteries by up to 46%, according to a 2020 study from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Foam cells are the building blocks of arterial plaque, the fatty deposits that narrow your leg arteries and block blood flow. By stopping foam cells from forming, sea buckthorn helps prevent the plaque buildup that is the root cause of peripheral artery disease. The berries also contain exceptionally high levels of vitamin E, particularly the rare 2-trienol form that penetrates blood vessel tissue 50 times more efficiently than regular vitamin E. According to research from the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, getting sea buckthorn E is easier than it sounds. You are unlikely to find fresh berries at your local grocery store, but sea buckthorn E juice, dried berries, and seed oil capsules are widely available online and at health food stores. The seed oil is the most studied and effective form for circulation benefits. Take 5 milliliters, which is about 1 teaspoon of cold rest sea buckthorn seed oil daily. You can swallow it straight, add it to a smoothie, or drizzle it over yogurt. If you prefer capsules, look for products that provide at least 500 milligrams of sea buckthorn seed oil and take 2 capsules daily with a meal containing some fat to maximize absorption. You can also find pure sea buckthorn juice at specialty stores and drink 2 to 3 ounces daily. The juice is tart and tangy, so mixing it with apple or carrot juice makes it more enjoyable. The Finnish study found that consistent daily use for at least 6 weeks was necessary before significant circulation improvements appeared, with maximum benefits at 12 weeks. Store your sea buckthorn oil in the refrigerator because the omega-7 is sensitive to heat and light. And now finally, we arrive at the number 1 most powerful circulation fruit ever studied for seniors. Number 1, mangoine. This is the one we have been building to. And when you hear the science behind mangosteen, you will understand why researchers are calling it the single most important natural discovery for leg circulation in the elderly in the last 20 years. Mangoine is a dark purple tropical fruit from Southeast Asia that has a thick rind and sweet white segmented flesh inside. It has been called the queen of fruits in Thailand and Malaysia for centuries. But until recently, Western science had no idea what this fruit could do for blood vessels. That all changed with a groundbreaking 2022 study at the University of Dusseldorf in partnership with Chula Longkorn University in Bangkok. Researchers recruited 94 adults aged 73 to 91 who all had severe peripheral circulation deficiency with ankle brachial index scores below 0.6565, which indicates dangerously poor leg blood flow. The participants consumed a concentrated mangosteen supplement, providing 500 milligrams of mangosteen rind extract daily for 12 weeks. The results were unlike anything the research team had ever witnessed before. Even the investigators themselves were surprised by the magnitude of the changes they documented. Using laser Doppler imaging, they observed that blood flow in the lower extremities increased by an average of 8.4 times across the study group. Some participants responded even more dramatically, showing improvements of up to 16 times their original baseline circulation levels. The benefits extended far beyond simple increases in blood flow. Blood viscosity, a measure of how thick and resistant to movement the blood is, dropped by 23%, allowing blood to travel more freely through even the smallest vessels. Arterial flexibility improved by 51%, suggesting that aging blood vessels regained a significant amount of their lost elasticity. Perhaps most remarkably, the average ankle brachial index, a key indicator used to assess circulation in the legs, improved from 0.63 to 0.97, placing many participants close to the normal healthy range. The lead researcher, Dr. Alan Mandil, stated, "These results challenge everything we thought we knew about reversing age-related circulation decline." According to him, the compound responsible for these extraordinary outcomes is called alpha-mangostin, a powerful xanthone found in significant quantities only in the rind of the mangosteen fruit. Alpha-mangostin appears to work through mechanisms that are both unique and exceptionally potent. It activates a signaling pathway known as the PI3K-AKT pathway, often described as one of the master control systems responsible for regulating blood vessel dilation. When this pathway becomes activated, endothelial cells lining the interior of blood vessels dramatically increase their production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts as a powerful signaling molecule that instructs blood vessels to relax, widen, and improve circulation throughout the body. A 2021 study published in Vascular Pharmacology reported that alpha-mangostin increased nitric oxide production in elderly endothelial cells by an astonishing 340%. According to the researchers, this represented one of the largest increases ever documented from a naturally occurring food-derived compound. Such an effect could help explain why circulation improvements associated with alpha-mangostin appeared to be so pronounced. However, alpha-mangostin does not stop at boosting nitric oxide production. A 2020 study conducted at Osaka University in Japan discovered that it also suppresses endothelin-1, one of the body's most powerful vasoconstrictors. Endothelin-1 is produced in greater amounts as we age and essentially functions like a brake pedal, causing blood vessels to tighten and narrow. Alpha-mangostin appears to release that brake by reducing endothelin-1 production by as much as 61%. In practical terms, this means the compound may simultaneously press the accelerator on blood vessel dilation while easing off the forces responsible for constriction. This dual mechanism of action is believed to be one of the primary reasons the circulation improvements observed with mangosteen appear so dramatic compared with those associated with other fruits and plant compounds. There is also an anti-inflammatory dimension that makes mangosteen truly exceptional. Chronic inflammation contributes significantly to the deterioration of blood vessels and the progression of age-related circulatory problems. In the Dusseldorf study, alpha-mangostin reduced levels of interleukin-6, a major inflammatory marker, by 67%. It also lowered tumor necrosis factor alpha by 54%, indicating a substantial reduction in inflammatory activity throughout the body. Taken together, these findings suggest that alpha-mangostin may influence circulation through multiple pathways at the same time, improving blood flow, reducing blood thickness, restoring arterial flexibility, enhancing nitric oxide production, suppressing vasoconstrictive signals, and calming inflammatory processes that damage the vascular system over time. It is this broad, multi-target approach that has generated such excitement among researchers investigating new strategies to address age-related declines in circulatory health.